What do you do with these steroid guys? What do you do with them? I don't know. A-Rod has done a fantastic job of turning around his public image. Fantastic. He was not liked as a baseball player.
No.
When he was still playing, people hated him. People love watching A-Rod now. And I think A-Rod does a fantastic job for us here on Fox. He does a great job being personable to people. You watch him around the stadium. He's great, and he really has revamped his image. And obviously, he's not in the Hall of Fame because of what he did on the baseball field. It's because of his image and the steroid link. I would put him in.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone to lengths talking about this with Barry Bonds. And the guys who really changed the game of baseball, brought it back to life in a lot of senses.
Yeah.
They're the leaders in these categories of these all-time stats that we still talk about and we still use. If we're still using their names and talking about them as all-time leaders, why aren't they in the shrine of where we talk about the best of the best in baseball? It just doesn't make sense.
So
it does not make sense to me.
I agree. And before I go in completely on that, let me reveal the last name on my ballot because this goes into the same point. Manny Ramirez. I would vote for him as well. Manny Ramirez, one of the best right-handed hitters of all time. Manny being Manny, right? 555 homers, 312 career batting average, 411 on base percentage, and one of the best, most fun personalities to watch playing baseball of all time. But steroid link there as well. I would vote for him. Look, do you know how many players are in the Hall of Fame that have taken steroids? The gatekeepers of the Hall of Fame finally decided to say, you know what? We have a problem with this. Here's why I have a problem with you, the voters. Here's why I would put them in. I don't condone steroids. In fact, it pisses me off. I played with guys in the minor leagues that I knew were taking them, and it just, to be honest with you, it's frustrating
it's
as a player to see it happening and know, well, that guy has a leg up on me because of what he's injecting into his body, right? And I hate steroids, and it really does frustrate me. However, here's why I would put them in. I believe that the Hall of Fame is a shrine and a museum for the greatest baseball players that ever existed. You can't have that conversation without talking about Barry Bonds, without talking about Mark McGwire, without talking about Alex Rodriguez, without talking about Manny Ramirez. So I would put them in. And here's what I would do about it. I would open a separate wing of the Hall of Fame that says this was the steroid era.
Yeah.
These players played during the steroid era. They took steroids, but we believe that they should be acknowledged in the Hall of Fame for what they did on the field. Like you mentioned, Alex, 1998, the year after the strike. Baseball was in a tough spot because of the strike. Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa saved baseball.
Yes, they did.
In that 98 season, that
did.
home run chase, everybody remembers it, except for me. I was 6, but everybody remembers it, okay? It was so much fun. I remember it because I looked back and, you remember the videos and you remember the home run chase and everything that happened. They saved baseball, and baseball knows that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, now, well, they took steroids, so they shouldn't be in. Who's deciding this? These baseball writers that have never... Are you okay?
I'm sorry, I got mad. I knocked over my
Alex
water bottle.
is mad too.
Knocked over my water bottle.
These baseball writers are the one deciding this because they're the ones deciding that they have a problem with it. Well, I have a problem with them taking steroids, so I'm not putting them in the Hall of Fame. Well, that gets frustrating because a lot of these guys never put on a uniform and played in their life.
No.
So for them to be the ones keeping them out, because, and a lot of these specifically, Gary Sheffield, Barry Bonds, who didn't get in, well, they weren't known as the nicest guys in the world. In fact, they were kind of known as assholes to the media. And now these media are holding it against them all these years later because they have an ability to, because they were linked to steroids. And it's like, well, I'm not putting you in. But there's plenty of players that are already in that it's just, I don't know.
That we now know we're on steroids. Get off your high horse and recognize greatness when you see it, okay?
Yeah.
It was a part of the game. The hitters, the pitchers, half the clubhouse was taking steroids. It's very well known. It is very well known.
Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.